Have you ever had someone living in your mind rent-free? Like you're just trying to go on with your day, scrolling your phone, sipping coffee, folding laundry, and suddenly they're there. Their smile. Their voice. That one moment when their eyes met yours and time just paused. You didn't ask for these memories to stay. But somehow, they keep showing up like your heart hasn't let go even if your mind wants to. And here's the part that keeps you up at night. What if they're thinking about you too? What if your souls are still speaking even in silence? Or maybe, you're holding on to something that only you felt. What if it was all in your head? But then again, why does it still feel so real? Let's talk about it, because this kind of connection, it doesn't just fade without a reason. Number 1. Emotional imprints last longer than physical ones. We tend to believe love is all about what happens, the moments we share, the memories we make, the words we say. But sometimes, love lingers in the spaces where nothing ever happened. That unfinished conversation you replay in your mind, that almost moment that slipped away, it's like a loop your heart keeps trying to complete, but never can. It's why certain people stay stuck inside your head, not because they're the one, but because your heart craves the answers your mind never got. Your soul is left holding on to what could have been, not what is. And that longing, that ache, it's raw and real, because sometimes love is less about closure and more about the stories we never finish telling ourselves. You carry those moments quietly, like a secret song only you can hear. They remind you of vulnerability, of hope, and sometimes, of your own strength to keep going even when the story remains unfinished. The truth is, those gaps in love don't mean weakness. They mean you dared to feel deeply, to dream wildly, and to let someone matter more than fear. Number 2. Your brain gets addicted to the feeling, not the person. It's wild, but it's true, you're not always missing him. What you're really missing is the feeling you got when you were around him. That crazy excitement in your chest, the butterflies, the little rush every time you wondered, does he like me back? It's like your brain was hooked on a game, a kind of slot machine that kept spinning, waiting for the next hit of dopamine, that happy, thrilling high. And he wasn't just a person. He became the symbol of that rush, that hope, that sweet addiction to feeling wanted. But here's the thing, that feeling wasn't about him. It was about how alive he made you feel. It's why sometimes, even when you're apart, your mind can't stop chasing that spark, that tiny thrill that made your heart race. You're not really missing the guy, you're missing what he made you feel deep inside. And that feeling? It's powerful. It's addictive. It's what keeps you caught in the loop, hoping for just one more moment, one more glance, one more chance to feel special again. So next time you find yourself thinking about him, ask yourself, is it really him, or just that feeling you crave? Because understanding this can help you break free and find the kind of love that truly lifts you up, not just the rush, but the real, lasting happiness you deserve. Number 3. You're subconsciously hoping for redemption. If someone hurt you, ignored you, or chose someone else, it's normal to secretly wish they'd come back and finally see how amazing you really are. That little hope, that secret dream, keeps their memory alive in your mind. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're simply human. Deep inside, every woman wants to be seen, noticed, and truly valued. It's part of who we are. But here's the truth, your worth isn't tied to their choice or their attention. You deserve someone who chooses you loudly, proudly, and without hesitation. Don't let anyone's actions make you doubt your power or your beauty. Your heart is made for love that lifts you up, not love that holds you back. And remember, wanting to be seen isn't a flaw, it's a sign that your soul is strong, ready to shine brighter. So honor your feelings, but never settle for less than you deserve. The right person will not just come back, they will stay, because they recognize your true value from day one. Number 4. Soul bonds don't always follow logic. Some people enter our lives and leave a fingerprint on our soul, no explanation, no checklist. You just feel something around them, a quiet knowing that goes beyond words. Science might call it emotional imprinting, but spiritually, it's like your souls recognized each other, whispering secrets only they understand. That kind of bond doesn't vanish with time or distance, it stays alive and breathing in the spaces between your thoughts. These connections don't ask for logic or reasons, they simply are. They teach you about love in its rawest, most honest form, imperfect, powerful, and unforgettable. Even when the world urges you to move on, your spirit holds on to the truth that some bonds are forever etched into your being. They awaken parts of you didn't know existed, helping you grow, heal, and believe in magic when everything else feels uncertain. And sometimes, that gentle ache in your heart is just a reminder that love, in its purest form, never really leaves. Number 5. Sometimes, it's a mirror, not a memory. Here's a truth bomb you need to hear. You're not really thinking about him, you're thinking about you when you were with him. The person you were back then. The dreams you had. The version of yourself you hoped to become. He isn't just a memory of a person, he's a mirror. A mirror reflecting a part of you that you miss, a part you haven't fully let go of. That's why your mind keeps going back to him, not because of him alone, but because he reminds you of yourself. And that's okay. It's normal to miss who you were with someone, to grieve a part of yourself that felt alive and hopeful. But remember, you don't need him to find that version of you again. You already have the power to bring her back stronger, wiser, and free. You're not stuck because of him. You're stuck because you haven't fully found your way back to you. So stop chasing the memory of him, and start chasing the real, beautiful woman you are becoming. Number 6. Your mind replays what your heart doesn't understand. Closure isn't always about having a final conversation. Sometimes, closure is simply realizing that not everything broken can be fixed. When we don't get closure, our minds start creating stories, guessing, replaying every moment, and overthinking every silence. It's like your heart quietly whispers, maybe there's still a chance, while your mind fights to imagine a happy ending that might never come. But holding on to hope doesn't always heal the pain. Sometimes, letting go means loving yourself enough to stop waiting for answers that may never arrive. True peace comes when you stop searching for what isn't there and start accepting what is. Healing begins the moment you decide to move forward, not because you forgot, but because you chose to grow. Remember, sometimes the strongest closure is the one you give yourself. Number 7. He might be thinking of you too. Let's be honest with ourselves, we all want to know if the person we can't stop thinking about is thinking of us too. Maybe he is. Maybe he saw your picture last week and felt a little spark. Maybe he went back and read your messages again and again. But here's the real truth. No matter how much he thinks about you, it doesn't change your life or your worth. What really matters is why you still care so much. Why do his thoughts have so much power over your heart? Are you holding on because of hope? Or fear of letting go? Sometimes, we get stuck in the idea of someone instead of the reality of ourselves. You deserve to be the person who thinks about you first, not someone who wonders if you're thinking about them. Your happiness should not depend on a maybe or a might. It depends on how much you love yourself, even when no one else does. Remember, your value isn't measured by his attention. It's measured by how you treat yourself when no one else is watching. Number 8. Your mind revisits what still needs healing. Every time someone gets stuck in your mind and just won't leave, pause and ask yourself, what didn't I heal? Was there something I needed to say but never did? Did I lose parts of myself just trying to keep them? Sometimes, it's not love that keeps them in your thoughts, it's the pain you never faced. Regret, guilt, unfinished feelings. They can haunt you until you finally make peace, not just with them, but with yourself. Because maybe it's not about them anymore, it's about the version of you that still hurts. Sometimes we hold on, not because we miss them, but because we miss who we were before them. Your mind replays it because your heart wants closure. Healing doesn't always mean forgetting, it means learning to live without needing the answers. And the moment you give yourself the love you were seeking from them, that's when the thoughts finally quiet down. Number 9. Timing creates false hope. You ever meet someone and think, if only the timing was right? So you tell yourself, maybe someday. And that maybe someday becomes a loop. You replay it in your head like a song you never get tired of. Because deep down, you never got to hear the last note. No goodbye. No closure. Just silence and a heartbeat full of hope. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. Sometimes, it's not the timing that's wrong. It's the person. Because the right person won't come at the wrong time. The right person feels right even in chaos. They don't make you question your worth or your place in their life. They don't leave you hanging on a maybe. They show up with clarity, with effort, with love. So if you're still stuck on someone who only gave you confusion and crumbs, maybe it's time to stop waiting for the timing to change. And realize you deserve someone who doesn't make you wait at all. Number 10. You hold on to people when you're afraid to let go of a dream. Let's be real sometimes, it's not even about him. It's about what he represented to you. Maybe he made you feel loved, safe, alive. Maybe he reminded you of freedom, passion, or the version of yourself you were trying to become. Letting him go feels like letting go of that dream. And that's why it hurts so deeply. But here's something you need to know: you can still have the dream, even without the person. Because he wasn't the dream. You were. He just reminded you of a part of yourself you forgot you had. What you're craving isn't really him, it's how you felt around him. And that feeling? It still lives inside you. You created it. You owned it. Healing doesn't mean erasing the memory, it means rewriting what it meant. And one day, when you're ready, you'll look back and realize it was never about losing him, it was about finally finding you. Conclusion. So why is someone always on your mind? Maybe it's because your heart still needs answers. Maybe it's because, with them, your soul felt truly seen for the first time in a long time. Or maybe, just maybe, it's part of your healing. And healing? It doesn't always mean forgetting. Sometimes, it means remembering but without breaking. Without crying. Just breathing through it, and finally feeling at peace. Here's a little reminder. The next time they cross your mind, pause. Instead of asking, "Why am I still thinking about them?" Ask, "What part of me is speaking up right now? Is it my need for love? For closure? For validation? Or just a little more self-kindness?" Because here's the truth, love. You don't really need them to come back. What you truly need is you. To come back home to yourself. Stronger, softer, wiser, and so much more whole than you thought you could be.